Hafaday, Minak of Talawani. The Committee on Rules hereby calls this meeting to order. And for the record, today is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022, and the time now is 3:11. Will the Committee on Rules Director, Ms. Mary Maravilla, please take roll call of the members?
Chairperson Vice Speaker Barnes.
Geigia.
Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton. Speaker Terlahi. Senator Nelson. Senator San Augustine. Senator Rangel. Senator Terlahi. Senator Perez. Senator Blas. Senator Torres. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Madam Director, does the chair hear a motion to excuse members not present?
So moved.
Is there a second? It has been moved by Secretary and Vice Chair Shelton and seconded by Senator San Augustine that members not be present be excused. Are there any objections?
No objection.
Hearing no objections, motion carries. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the Committee on Rules meeting minutes from April 13th, 2022, which can be found, colleagues, on the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 01 Meeting Minutes?
So moved.
So moved by Secretary and Vice Chair Shelton and seconded by Senator Sabina Perez. And subject to any corrections. Is there an objection? No objection. Motion carries. Item number 4, document tracking prepared by the Legislative Secretary. For the update, I will now have Legislative Secretary Vice Chair Shelton provide her report, which can be found on the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 02 Legislative Secretary's Report. Madam Vice.
Situas Masi, Madam Chair, buenas colleagues. The Legislative Secretary report to date is as follows. There are 110 appointments submitted by Governor Leon Guerrero to date. 1 appointment confirmed during the February 2021 session, 14 during the March 2021 session, 8 confirmed during the April 2021 session, 7 appointments confirmed during the May 2021 session, 7 appointments confirmed in the July 2021 session, 13 appointments confirmed during the August 2021 session, 10 appointments confirmed during the September 2021 session, 3 appointments confirmed during the October 2021 session, 12 appointments confirmed during the December 2021 session, 10 appointments confirmed during the January 2022 session, 8 appointments confirmed during the February session, 1 appointment during the March session, and 2 appointments confirmed during the April 2022 session. A total of 96 appointments have been confirmed. Of the remaining 14 appointments, there are some pending confirmation, 4 withdrawals, and 2 have extended beyond their authorized 90-day term limit. There are currently 23 zone change requests at this time. There are 10 rules and regulation requests. Bills have been introduced, 4 are now law, and 1 has been approved by default. Situas Masi. And this report can also be found in your Google Drive if you'd like to view it.
Buen provecho, Vice Chair Secretary Shelton. Next item on the of business is the ratification of referrals. The referrals of bills and appointments are indicated each on the corresponding logs, which can be found on the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 03 Legislative Item Logs. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify referrals?
So moved.
A second. It has been moved by Senator Mary Torres and seconded by Senator Joe San Augustine to ratify referrals of bill numbers 292-36LS through Bill number 304-36 COR. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion carries. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify referral of appointments?
So moved.
Second. It has been moved by Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator San Augustine to ratify the referrals of executive appointments. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none. Motion carries. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of resolutions?
So moved.
Second. It has been moved by Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator Joe S. San Augustine to ratify the referrals of resolutions. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none. Motion carries. We will now move to the consideration of items eligible for placement on the agenda. Members, the committee reports for the following items have been duly filed and met met Committee on Rules Committee report deadline on May 5th. And there is a listing that's attached. So at this time, I will call Vice Chair. No. Do you have any? Senator San Augustine.
Madam Chair, just advise the Committee on Rules here that there are 3 bills here that are listed that I will be officially withdrawing due to they were identified for source of funding, which is the earned income tax credit. That's not viable at this time, so I'll be withdrawing it from the committee's report. I may introduce it with a different funding, but I'm going to be withdrawing. You'll be getting the official letter. That's one. Next issue is that being that I didn't see any bills here, and I know that there are bills that are pending public hearings, that I recommend that the Committee on Rules recess and reconvenes next week, Thursday at 1:30, and then determine then what bills could be on this session, and the session be moved until May 27th. Is when we'll start the session. There's no sense trying to start a session that we may not have, and everything's potential. I would just only recommend that.
There's been a motion by Senator San Augustine to recess the Committee on Rules hearing. Do I have a second? Is there a second? There has been a second. Are there any objections? You know what? I'm going to just, before we do discussion, I will just take a moment's recess. the Committee on Rules is back in session. Before I entertain that motion for the record, I will note that the list as provided today, there are 12 bills, 13 bills, one resolution, one nomination, and just received in the Committee on Rules at 2:13 this afternoon, right before the core meeting, was Bill number 243-36 LS as amended, and Bill as introduced by Senator Mary Camacho Torres, and Bill number 244-36 LS as amended by the committee and introduced by Mary Camacho Torres and others. I just want to note for the record that these are the only two bills that was received by the committee as of this afternoon at 2:13 p.m. and 2:11 p.m. respectively. Nothing else was up for review in the Committee on Rules besides what has been mentioned that is on the list. So there is a motion by Senator Joseph Augustine to recess to next week, Thursday, seconded by Senator Frank Blas. We are now in discussion. Speaker Chalayi, you're recognized.
Yeah, I share the sentiment of the senator that some of these items we can't address, for example, if session began next Friday, but we can address them after they're reported out of the committee, which hopefully is after the public hearing. And my only objection is that the fastest way to do that is to put them on the agenda, particularly this GPA, is because put it on, we got to put the notice out, and if they're not ready, we can recess the session at that point. But the notices are so convoluted nowadays that it's just difficult to, if you set our meeting back, we set our notices back as well. And I don't know. And I also am concerned we have budget hearings set for that week as well. So we're backing up the entire schedule. And so if we have time-sensitive matters such as GPA, the cannabis rules, if those are also, whatever's time-sensitive, I just think we should put the notice of it as potential items and try to deal with them. But yeah, of course, it's going to be subject to it getting out. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Chalayi. Anyone else on the motion for discussion? Anyone else? If not, is there an objection to recess till next week, Thursday at 1:30? There has been objection. All those in favor for the recess signify by raising your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just getting clarification. Motion fails. Speaker Chalayi.
Bills?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make yours? Okay, so I was going to request for potential items, bills number 261-36 LS. That is pending a committee report. It's relative to eliminating the liquid fuel tax. And also bill number 301-36 that's been referred to my committee. That is another, subject to committee report. That is to approve the land lease agreement as lender's condition to fund the construction of a 198 megawatt power plant and BESS facility located on lot numbers 5010-1 new-1 and 5010-1 new-R1, Dedido.
I do apologize, Madam Speaker. I heard the first bill was 261.
261-36, yes.
Okay, so duly noted. And the second one was?
Bill number 301. This is relative to the lease for the GPA. Yeah, you want me
The
to read the
lease to
whole
the
title?
GPA.
Yeah,
You
it's a
wanna go ahead and
GPA
read the title,
lease.
yes.
That's the one that's scheduled for a public hearing.
Just go ahead and read the title for the record,
Yeah,
so
sure.
it's noted.
So it's an act to approve the land lease agreement as lender's condition to fund the construction of a 198 megawatt power plant and BESS facility located in lot numbers 5010-1 new-1 and 5010-1 new-R1, Dedido, and a related reserve facility located in lot number 261-2 PD Guam, and to authorize the use of those properties for such purposes. I'm making this motion because it's referred to my committee, and we were told it's urgent, so I want to treat it that way and put the notice out there in case we can get that out in time.
That's Bill
301.
301-36.
LS.
LS. Duly noted. Anything else?
There are 3 other committee reports that have been routed and submitted, and
Yes.
so I will allow the sponsor to make those motions, but
Thank you.
I think, if you could hold on, I think I have one more. It is,
I can come back to you, Speaker,
Okay,
if you
sure,
want.
sure.
Thank you. Senator Snug, seen any bills? Senator Perez.
Did you get that? Yes, as a potential item, I'd like to actually make the motion to put Bill 300-36- sorry, hold on. Bill 300-36 LS. It's an act to repeal and reenact Section 5213 of Subarticle B, Article 3, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code annotated, relative to strengthening the requirements of small purchases. So we should be able to get the committee report out.
what's that number?
300.
300
-36, COR or LS?
LS.
LS.
And then,
Duly noted. Anything else?
and then the executive appointment of Mrs. Lola Leon Guerrero as Director of Bureau of Statistics and Plans as a potential item. Okay, that concludes it. Yes, that's correct. And that concludes my additions. And also Bill 297, or maybe I can have you make that motion?
You can make that motion as a potential.
Okay, another potential item is Bill 297-36. I need to pull it up. It's LS. The title reads, it's sponsored by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, co-sponsored by Senators Mary Camacho Torres, Amanda L. Shelton, Jose Pedro Terlahi. It's an act to add a new Article 8 to Chapter 3 of Title 22, a lot of feedback, Guam Code annotated, relative to eliminating discrimination and promoting women's health and economic security by ensuring reasonable workplace accommodations for workers whose ability to perform the functions of a job are limited by pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical condition, and to cite this act as the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act.
Duly noted, Madam Senator. Thank you very much. Senator Clint, any potential? Senator Mary Torres?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The 2 bills that I want to note as potential items to be placed on the agenda are Bills 243 and 244. These bills have been, the committee report has been received by CORE, but it has just not been uploaded or reviewed, I guess, for clearance. So 243 is an act that is relative to defining consent, revising the language of mentally defective to mentally impaired, and expanding the definition of mental incapacitation and physically helpless.
Senator Mary, can you, I'll just also note that as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, as amended by the committee.
Yes, thank you. And then the second item that I'm noting as a potential item for the agenda is Bill 244-36LS, also as amended by the committee. It is an act relative to establishing a Bill of Rights for victims of sexual assault and to further citing this act as the Survivors' Bill of Rights Act of 2022. Thank you, and those are the only two potential items. I had another bill that was part of the trilogy, but as I understand, it has not yet been reported out of committee, and I don't know that that it will be timely for...
It's being routed. It's being
Oh, it's
routed
being
right
routed.
now.
So perhaps then I'll just note that there's another Bill 242-36 that the chair of the committee has indicated has been routed. So if that should be cleared by core and uploaded in sufficient time, that may be a potential item. That is also a bill relative to the transfer or release of family violence victims from shared wireless plans, phone plans.
Thank you. That's also amended, Senator Torres.
Yes, ma'am, as amended. Thank you.
Duly noted. Thank you very much, Senator Torres. Thank you very much, Speaker. Majority Leader, Senator Talina.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for perspective, resolution would be resolution number 315-36, which is relative to expressing the utmost support of Imenay Trantaysay Nalas Turanguahan for the passage of HR 6675, which is the Independent VA Audit Act. And then also, tomorrow we'll be having the confirmation hearing for Ms. Conchita Taitano, and we will be looking to adding her on to the session agenda.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Majority Leader. It was submitted to the body on May 11th, 2022 at 9:21 a.m. So resolution 315-36LS on that motion to place. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none. Motion carries. Senator, Majority Leader, you're still recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And then we will be hearing a confirmation hearing for Ms. Conchita S.N. Taitano to serve as a member of the Board of Directors to the Port Authority of Guam tomorrow night. So we'll be looking to adding her as a prospective confirmation candidate during session.
Majority Leader, so noted. Thank you very much. Anything else?
That is all.
Conchita
Ms. Tan.
Taitano.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's all.
You're very welcome. Brother Senator Frank Blas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, on behalf of Senator V. Anthony, I would like to move resolution number 290-36 COR as it introduced by Senator Rada, myself, Senator Chris Duenas, Senators Joseph Augustine, Jose Pilo Talai, Teresa M. Talai, Telo T. Taregui, Amanda L. Shelton, Tina Rose Muña Barnes, Jane C. Moylan, Sabina Flores Perez, Joanne Brown, Clinton Nee Virgil, relative to expressing the support of Imenay Trantaysay Nalas Turanguahan for the passage of H.R. 3512, the Health Care for Our Troops Act, which would provide access to zero-cost TRICARE Reserve Select and Dental coverage to Reserve Component service members. I'd like to be able to place that resolution into session agenda.
On that motion, are there any objections? Oh, I do apologize. Is there a second to that resolution? There's a second by Senator Joseph Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none. Motion carries. Senator Frank Blas, you're still recognized.
Nothing further, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Sidus Masi. Senator Blas. Speaker Talai, as committed, back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I wanted to put on the potential items, Bill number 12-36. It's reported out of the committee, but it was rejected by CORE, Committee on Rules, for the vote. So we want to clarify that, and if we clarify that, so I would like it to be a potential item. That's 12-36. It's relative to expanding the Castle Doctrine justification for acts of self-defense and eliminating the requirement of retreating before the use of force in the face of imminent danger.
Thank you very much,
And then,
Madam Speaker, that, for the record, I would note that the Committee on Rules did receive that, but based on our standing rules, did not meet the approval to be placed, no bill may be placed on the floor without a majority of the committee, members of the committee to which it was referred to, voting to pass or report out only. It did not receive the required number. So noting that as our standing rules, 6.04D1 is where the standard of the bill did not muster or pass. So that's why it was returned back to committee. But thank you, Speaker Terlai. Is there anything else you'd like to put on this potential?
yes, Madam Chair. I'd also like to place as a potential item, we're working on the committee report now. It just depends how fast we can get that done. But Bill number 291-36 COR, this is relative to abortion, including abortions after detection of an unborn child's heartbeat, authorizing a private civil right of action.
That's as in a potential?
Yes, a potential.
It is
Pending committee report.
pending the committee report. I will duly note that. Anything else, Madam Speaker?
If I could just inquire about the cannabis rules, have they exceeded their time, or do we still have time on those? I guess. Yeah.
Speaker, I do apologize. Can I just please just put it on the agenda and then we'll go into open discussion. Thank you so very much. So, Senator Perez, I'll go back to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to add to the potential items list, Bill 266-36 COR. As amended, it's an act to add a new section 14104P to Article 1, Chapter 14, Division 1 of Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, relative to authorizing Guam Water Works Authority to facilitate repairs on private property as a potential item.
Duly noted. Thank you. Are there any other senators? One second. Colleagues, right now on the session agenda, it is noted that that have met the timeline and have completed all the prerequisites. We have both resolutions, so does the chair hear a motion to accept session agenda?
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair, yeah, before we do that, I'd like to ask that, according to the report on rules and regulations, I just want to confirm whether the cannabis rules are potentially enacted by default, or whether, I know there's a hearing on it, so I just want to know the deadline, because the deadline according to this says April 14, 2022, and then another deadline says April 29, 2022. And if that's the case, that means they were enacted by default, or I don't know when the deadline is. And so I want to know that.
Madam Speaker, I will go ahead and acknowledge that right now because of the possible session agenda inclusion, and I will yield to the Oversight Chair, Senator Clint Rigel, to go ahead and comment.
It's 90 days from whenever it was transmitted to the Speaker's office. I don't remember the exact date it was transmitted to the Speaker's office. I know the 90 days is approaching, but I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
It's 90 days from whenever the Speaker's office received it.
I'm going to take a moment's recess. The Committee on Rules is back on hearing. Senator Clinton, you had the floor last, and did you have anything else? Okay, Speaker Chirlahi, does that suffice your inquiry?
Yes, thank you for clarifying that the expiration, or the potential deadline would be May 29. Yeah, I'm just concerned because our session is slated to end on May 27. That would mean that the cannabis rules are going into effect by default approval. So I would like to ask that we put on our session agenda a potential item of cannabis rules and regulations. And if whatever form that might come through, or if there's a bill to adopt them or amend them or do anything, then that be included in that.
Duly noted. It is duly noted. No motion can be made without any, yeah. Yes, as a potential. Senator Torres, I will recognize you on the discussion.
Yeah, I just want to point out that although it's noted that this is going to occur, the suggestion that if a bill or something should come up as a result, it won't be timely anyways for the public hearing. I mean, it may just, so I believe it may be a non-issue, because any bill that gets introduced as a result of the public hearing tomorrow will itself have to go through at least a process, I think, as all bills do, go through a process of public hearing and committee reports and all that, I believe. So unless there's something different about rules and regs, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure what we're noting for the record, but
Thank you, Senator Torres. Anybody else? If not, duly noted. The adoption of the session agenda.
If I could make a motion to add on the agenda under motions, under the last vetoed bill listing, if we could add an item 6, motion to place on the session agenda from the potential items listing. That's a potential motion that we're going to make during motions, is to add those items from the potential items listing and attach a potential items listing to our agenda. That's my motion, is to add that. We did that at the last, we've been doing this since the public notice law was changed, the open government law was changed. That's how we've been giving notice of potential items.
I'm just going to make sure that we get the clarification on that motion. A moment's recess. Committee on Rules is back from recess. Speaker Cherish, you did have a motion. If you can restate it for the record.
Yes. My motion is to add on our draft session agenda, to add an item 6 under motions, which is after the list of vetoed bills, to add an item, sorry, it would be 11 here on this agenda, to add another item that says, quote, motion to place on the session agenda from the potential items listing. And that's on, and then end quote, and then we attach the potential items listing.
And Secretary, can you please?
This is what we've done for the
Please read the
past
bill
several
numbers
months.
and the confirmations, the appointments.
The following is a list of bills for the potential items on our agenda. Bill number 261-36LS. Bill number...
Point of information.
Please
Point of inquiry.
please state your point of information.
Where the motion is to build
Potential.
another section into the agenda.
It has
think-
been customarily done in the past term, this term, Senator Blas. We're just clarifying the bills that that will be on that potential agenda, the bill numbers. But it has been customarily done this term.
So can you restate the motion?
Sure. The motion, and this is a motion that we've made for the last several months, ever since the open government law has been changed. We have to give notice 5 days in advance of anything we're going to do in the session. In order to do that, we've worked with legal and we've come up with, giving the notice on our agenda of that we are going to also make motions to add to our business those items from the potential listing. And then we attach a potential listing. And all of that gets published when we publish the call to session. And we publish the agenda, which with the potential listing attached, and notice to everyone that we may act on this potential list, so that everybody is put on notice. And that's done 5 days in advance. That's why I say it's a little convoluted now that we do this all 5 days in advance and give notice of everything that we can think of 5 days in advance, and that's what we're trying to do by this motion. So on our draft agenda, my motion is to add under motions, to add a new item that reads, and this is the same that we've added on past agendas, motion to place on the session agenda from the potential items listing, and then that we also attach the potential items listing to that draft agenda, to that agenda. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And again, colleagues, if I may just have the legislative secretary and vice chair read the bill numbers and the appointments that are on potential.
Bill number 261-36LS. Bill number 301-36LS. Bill number 300-36LS. Bill number 297-36LS. Bill number 243-36LS. Bill number 244-36LS. Bill number 242-36LS. Bill number 12-36 COR. Bill number 291-36 COR. Bill number 266-36 COR. And the Cannabis Rules and Regulations. As well as the appointments of Lola E. Leon Guerrero and Conchita S.N. Taitano.
Is there a second to the motion? It has been moved by Senator Speaker Therese Terlahi and seconded by Senator Sabina. Speaker.
Because resolution 319 and resolution 290 these are on the agenda already, right? 315. Okay, and so wait, 315 is a resolution? Yes, 315 is a resolution. Is that already on? Is it recorded?
It's on.
And lastly, Madam Chair, as a potential item, Resolution 315-36.
No. That's 315.
It's not on the agenda yet. Does she have to move it? Is that what you're saying?
It's already in.
No, but, so it's not on the list, is what I'm saying. Agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
So there, the motion is seconded, as proffered by Speaker Therese Terlahi and seconded by Senator Sabina Perez. Is there an objection? There is an objection. All those in favor of placing the list of potentials onto the agenda, please, in favor of Speaker Terlahi's motion and seconded by Senator Perez. There has been an objection. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion fails. At this point, colleagues, I would ask for the acceptance of the session agenda with resolutions, with the items that Resolution 315-36LS and Resolution 290-36LS that have met all the time requirements. Do I hear a motion to add to the session agenda? Is there a second? There is a second. All those in favor signify by...
I object.
There has been an objection. Is to... Colleagues, the only items that have been accepted into the regular session agenda has been Resolution 315-36LS and Resolution 290-36COR. There has been a motion by Majority Leader Senator Nelson, and there has been a seconded by Senator Blas. Are there any objections? There has been an objection.
Yes.
All those in favor?
On the motion, if I may.
On the motion, we will discuss. Speaker
Thank you so
Therese.
much. Yes, as we talked about earlier, we do have some time-sensitive items that we have scheduled public hearings for because they were time-sensitive that we are trying to get done. They need supposedly to be done, and this is our May session, and if we don't do it during our May session, they won't be done until June. And for some of these items, they'll either be by default or they will be too late for use to GPA, for example. And so we tie our hands by approving an agenda that has none of these potential items on it. And you know, we are all trying our best to work with schedules in between hearings and, you know, that have been set for a long time with urgent items. This is a...
Point of order, Madam Chair.
This is an agenda to...
This has nothing to do with the motion to add that is already loaded.
No, the motion is
Resolution
to
number
approve an
315.
agenda that has only
No, the
a very
motion that I am
limited
making...
One moment,
items.
one
The
moment,
motion that I
please.
am making, Madam Chair, is to...
On the point of order, with all due respect, Madam Speaker, I will ask Majority Leader, please state your point of order. Please state your point of order, Majority Leader Nelson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am making the motion to add the resolutions onto the session agenda and to proceed with the session agenda as is.
Okay, thank you very much, and that has occurred. We are now in discussion, and Speaker Terlahi, I give you the floor to further your discussion, ma'am.
Yes, I don't know, maybe we need to clarify that motion because the motion sounded to me like we are moving to approve a session agenda without any potential items. And if that's the case, then all the bills that have been reported out or are being routed or being reported out are precluded from being addressed during May. And we have very time-sensitive bills that are included there. We have nominations that have had public hearings as of today that are included there, and that we are tying the legislature's hands and really from doing business. And so I think the goal of our work is to give public notice of it. I say we do that, and that we not tie our hands to actually vote on those very time-sensitive matters as well. So if the motion is to approve just a very limited agenda with only the resolutions by, you know, that's.
Then in light of that situation, Madam Chair, I would like to make an amendment to my motion, or perhaps just withdraw my motion overall, and just to add, as the potential list, since GPA is a time-sensitive matter, bill number 301-36.
Point of order, Madam Chair. We already have a potential
I withdraw-
list. We went
Madam
through all
Chair, I
these
have the
motions and we
floor.
voted on them.
Madam
Speaker
Chair, I have the
Chalahi,
floor.
one moment,
We already
please.
have a potential.
One moment, please. The first item would be to withdraw the
Thank
motion
you.
on the floor right now. Do I hear a motion to withdraw, Majority Leader Nelson? On that motion to withdraw this motion on the table right now, to add on the agenda just the two resolutions. There's a hearing no objection. Is there an objection? Hearing no objection. To withdraw? She's withdrawing? Yeah. Do you have an objection to withdrawing? On the motion, are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion carries. Majority Leader, I will still recognize you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make the motion to address, since the GPA bill is a potential item and it is time-sensitive, to include the GPA bill as in the potential list and continue on with the two resolutions for the session agenda. And the appointments.
Madam Chair, we've been through, you proceeded and.
Is that an objection, Madam Chair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
You are
are you
by that
allowing
motion, trying
discussions,
to
Madam
undo
Chair?
every motion that's been made during this meeting
you
as
going
to
to
which
confirm the vote,
items would
Madam
be
Chair?
added, and we all
I will
voted
take
on
a
every
moment's
single
recess.
item.
You need to.
The Committee on Rules is back from recess. Majority Leader Senator Nelson, I'm going to recognize you this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll withdraw my motion.
On that motion, without any objections, motion carries. Senator Joseph Augustine, I understand you have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I asked that we reconsider my motion earlier. And my motion earlier was that we would recess the new rules until next week, the time and date of which we
There,
And then, once we have the committee on rules meeting and everything is settled with the bills that are not, but bills that are loaded, then we can move on.
a motion to recess for next week, Thursday at 1:30. Is there an objection?
Objection.
There is
Or,
an ob-
or whatever day. No, objection because of Eugene. Madam Chair, it's your choosing, 5 days from today. I'm just asking to recess until a date you're choosing.
Wednesday at what time? Wednesday or Thursday?
What day?
Is Wednesday 5 days or what? We need 5 days to recess, we don't need 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, the recess, you don't need 5 days. You just pick the day. That's right, it's your choosing.
On the motion for Wednesday at 9 a.m., there's been
I
an objection.
objection.
There's
I
an
object.
objection, there's an objection, I
I'm
understand.
objecting because
Madam Chair,
we
on
need
the motion.
5 days.
On the motion,
We need, I
there
just
is
want
an
to explain,
objection.
Madam Chair. Oh, then
Madam
point of
Chair.
order, because
Okay,
in order
state
to
your-
publish an agenda after a Committee on Rules meeting, we need to publish it for
Madam-
5 days. So that
Madam-
affects
Madam Chair,
absolutely way beyond that next meeting for COR.
thank you very
It
much.
affects the
Madam
5
Speaker, thank you.
working days later,
Madam-
when we can even call a session, we will have exceeded all the deadlines.
Madam Speaker, thank you for your concern. There's an objection on the floor. All those in favor of the recess to next week, Wednesday at 9? Yeah. 9 a.m. There's been an objection. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Motion carries. We are in recess. Thank you.